Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the weekly Roundup. I'm CB alongside RS. RS, how you doing today? Excited about the news that we got to report here?
Oh, most definitely. We have some very interesting facts, and we're going to just jump right on into it.
That's right. We're going to get started off. Before, I'd like to explain this series just a little bit more so that, new viewers coming in, this is the first episode. What it is a weekly discussion of the news pertaining to video games and movies that matter to us. Sort of a Philip DeFranco kind of thing, but not quite. I mean, he reports...
Similar but different.
Yeah, he reports on like morally political news that matters to him. Anyways, let's get it started off. Far Cry 5, February 27th release date. It was announced yesterday, full trailer. Several mini trailers. I have yet to watch those ones yet.
Yeah, breaking down of different characters that are going to be in here. Not exactly the main character, but different other characters.
Yeah, and Ubisoft was a little smart on not revealing full detail on who the main character is. We only know that he is a sheriff that has a new sheriff who has come to town. They say junior sheriff, but in my mind, I'm thinking new sheriff, of course. There's a lot of controversy coming around this game too. A lot of religious controversy because there's a lot of religious overtones that we're seeing in just, as you can see the poster itself, it looks like the Last Supper.
Yeah.
A lot of people coming out against it and not realizing that it's just a fucking game. It's just a game.
Well, with all the Far Cry series, there's always been controversy no matter what game they release of it.
We'll go back.
There's always something.
We'll go back to Far Cry 4. There was a lot of racial controversy over that, being that...
I was honestly surprised they didn't get sued for
because
Far Cry 4.
It was...
Because it was very racial.
Yeah, it was... it was the story of a British guy taking over a small village in the Himalayan mountains, and there was a social divide between the two. Between two different factions. And then there was Far Cry 3. Far Cry 3 was just controversy up the ass.
Yeah.
I mean, it had a bunch of white guys fighting black guys.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term.
Going back to the slavery days, essentially.
Yeah, and all the black villains, there was one white villain. Voss was the villain that everybody loves, but he wasn't the white one. But it was drug trafficking amongst black people, or dark-skinned people, I should say. I'm trying not to sound racist, but...
Yeah. Essentially going to the stereotypical race.
Kind of don't like that.
It's to be set in Montana, a very small town of, what is it, Hope City or whatever?
Hope County. It's basically just a I'm going to assume it's a collection of small towns. In one, because they said
it's like small farms and
like farming communities and that kind of thing that they've got going out in Montana. And what are your thoughts on like what could happen? Like what do you think we'll see in that game?
It's hard to really say. The trailer doesn't really release a lot of information besides a heavy, strong, basically cult that's trying to take over.
Yeah. And the one theory I came up with was when they announced that it was going to be a junior sheriff taking over. I was thinking new cop comes to town, similar to Leon in Resident Evil 2 when he goes to Raccoon City and discovers it's just a shitstorm of stuff happening there.
And he's trying to repair it, but it's just things don't work out exactly how it's planned.
So what I'm seeing is he goes to this Hope County. Obviously, they'll look maybe to start a new life as a sheriff. Sees that there's a social divide there, joins the good guys, obviously, and fights the bad guys. Not sure how it's going to turn out. Most of the time, the good guy wins.
We'll see what happens anyway.
Yeah. Let's go into the next story. Red Dead 2, delayed till spring of next year. Rockstar coming out, and a lot of people, my friends on my Facebook page are very upset about this. A lot of people I've spoken to on Grand Theft Auto 5 upset at this because they are huge Rockstar fans. But I don't see why they would need to be upset. Rockstar has been known to delay games in the past.
They just want to tighten everything up like Naughty Dog does with all their games. They want to make it look more realistic as possible, being the first time it's hitting the PlayStation 4. It doesn't have to be, it's got to be way better than the PS3 version where it wasn't as tight.
Right. And it's kind of like a movie. Like their movies they'll be like, oh, this movie's going to come out July 22nd, and sometimes they'll be like, we're going to have to push it back to September because this issue happened, or
extra editing and things like that.
It's quite possible that Rockstar may have hit a snag and they have to delay it for that reason. And this is Rockstar's first full-on PS4 game that they're building from the ground up. So they want the best product that they can deliver for what they have right now.
And it's probably going to help them weave out a lot of the kinks that you get with those games. When you get brand new games out and you get glitches in the system, I know most people get glitches as soon as they first play a game. It's also been announced that Red Dead 2 will not be appearing at E3 this year.
And that doesn't surprise me either, because Rockstar, not known for doing the E3 thing. I honestly, trying to think back, like I started watching E3, I think the first time I started watching Tech TV was 2005. So my first E3 experience, I knew Rockstar wasn't going to be there. And Rockstar has never ever been there. They do their own thing. They host their own events. They talk about whatever products. And usually, if you go to their Facebook page, which is just Rockstar, of course, Rockstar Games.
RockstarGames.com.
Yeah,
I believe it is.
Yeah, you just go there and they just release little tidbits of information there.
That, and they'll probably have a press conference and everything closer to the day of release.
Right. And going back to E3, another big piece of news coming out.
Huge news.
Huge news on our part because we are so excited about this game.
This has been years in the comings. Like, we've seen the trailer. It's been a huge tease for like a year and a half to 2 years now straight of just waiting on Days Gone.
And they say they're coming to E3, and they're coming to E3 in a big way. My assumption, quite possibly, a release date, more demo to be played, a demo that PS4 owners could have to play.
Possibly another trailer, more discussion of characters.
It just leaves it wide open because all they said was, we're coming to E3 in a big way. That's all it really said. Speaking of going back to E3 some more, Last of Us Part 2. That's
expected to make an appearance at
E3? It's been formally announced that they will be at E3. Not quite sure again what they're going to reveal. They want to, obviously everybody wants to keep it a surprise as to what they're going to do at E3 because
possible demo, discussion of release date.
Possible demo, release date. I feel like a release date will be announced.
More than likely.
Because when they showed
my guess is probably late November, early December.
Yeah,
but that's not
get it out for that. Get it out for that Christmas rush like they did for the first Last of Us.
More than likely.
Yeah. What was I going to say now? Another thing they may do is they may talk about the release date. Of course, they're going to. Obviously, they're going to show a little more trailer. If they do have the release date, they're going to show the trailer. They're going to show some gameplay demo because when we watched that trailer last year,
there was basically nothing in it.
Yes, but
there was videography of basically her just sitting on the bed playing her guitar and saying, "I'm going to get them all."
Yeah, and that's killing the Fireflies, which again led a lot of people to speculate that Joel was killed by the Fireflies. But
quite possible.
It's hard to say because he physically appears in the video, which is. But you know,
well, it's just the back of him. You don't really see his face.
Yeah, for all we know, he's like some sort of imagination of Ellie's or something. But no, what I was gonna say is when they first showed the trailer, it said it gave you like a warning. This product is still in development, and just watching the trailer, it looked like it was getting ready for release.
Yeah,
that's how good.
That's how sharp it was and clean and everything. Anyone who's interested in watching E3, considering it's going to be friggin' huge this year. It's starting on June the 10th to probably the 15th.
Yeah, and you can find it on, well, I know for a fact IGN is broadcasting almost...
IGN will always broadcast it.
I believe they're broadcasting all of the fucking press conferences.
I'm
not sure about the other channels. I think maybe Rooster Teeth might be doing it. I'm not quite certain. They might just do a live video where they talk about what they've seen there.
And like usual, it will be appearing in LA. Like, it'll be happening in LA if anybody actually plans to go to E3. I don't know if there's tickets or what the deal is with that.
I think what they usually do is it's only press that's allowed to go there. but still, they obviously don't cut out on the fans, of course, because
me not knowing very much about E3, being this is going to be the first year I ever watch it.
Yeah,
I figured it was similar to the Call of Duty tournaments that they have, where you have tons and tons of fans that come and watch people in the Call of Duty tournaments.
No, it's well, I think the press conferences I know are closed to only the press, obviously, and
but with the demos and that, I imagine they would have customers and that.
I'm assuming that fans will be allowed to go and check that kind of stuff out. Let's move on to the next story, which is another big item that caught our eye, and that was Take-Two stating that in an investor call that they have a big franchise on the way
to be released next year. A couple possible titles are Borderlands 3,
Bioshock,
Civilization,
and the one that's definitely, and a lot of people already started speculating on, and it's not going to happen, is Mafia.
Yeah.
Mafia 3 had only come out like, 2-3 months ago. They're not going to jump into a fourth Mafia immediately.
Unless they're releasing a trailer of future possible plans with Mafia 4, but not likely. And if they're going to release a DLC, then they may discuss a little bit on that, but it sounds more that it's going to be a full-fledged new game.
Yeah, and if it was going to be a DLC for Mafia 3, they'd be like, oh, we're going to put it out in August or something like that. They would have said that to the investors. And I think they did that call because going back to the Red Dead story, their stocks dropped when they announced that delay. It dropped to 10% drop, rose up 11% pretty much after that call when they announced they
did a recovery, essentially.
It felt like a recovery, in my opinion.
Or an attempt at a recovery.
And, well, it was kind of successful. I mean, they got back up 1%, and they were at an all-time high for that day that happened.
But now they have to actually release something to prove it.
Yeah, and maybe E3, they reveal what that item is.
Quite possibly. I'm hoping Bioshock or Borderlands 3, because it's been a while for both titles.
And I think the last Bioshock I played, I mean, they did the Bioshock collection, they remastered everything.
But a remaster is not the same as a brand new game.
No,
new story, new everything.
No, the last Bioshock was Bioshock Infinite. I'm not including the
Quite
DLC.
the interesting game. I enjoyed Infinite.
I went into it not even knowing what to expect because I've never played the other Bioshocks, and I'm like, I'm just watching the graphics. I'm like, this is a weird looking game, and
it's strange for sure.
My brother gave it to me. He was selling some of his PS3 stuff to kind of make ends meet, and I had just bought my PS3 at the time, so he's like, here, have these games. And I put in Bioshock Infinite, and 10 minutes in, I was hooked. Anyways, let's...
Moving on to our last piece of news this evening.
And this is kind of a surprising piece of news, too, to me. Tom Holland has signed on to play Nathan Drake in an upcoming Uncharted movie. I'm a little leery on it, but in watching... the Spider-Man trailers. Have you seen the new Spider-Man trailers?
No, I haven't had a chance to take a look at that yet. But to my understanding, he's a really, really good actor. But you look at the image, he looks way younger than Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
Nathan Drake, I imagine being in his middle 30s, roughly.
I would assume so. But but he's got that the way he plays Spider-Man. He's got that suave, cocky kind of thing that Nathan Drake typically has, and it's quite possible that he can nail the role. The only thing is he needs to grow like a fucking stubble or some shit.
A stubbly beard, yeah. He needs to scruffy up a little bit.
Now I'm wondering, because I didn't know anything about this Uncharted movie until like maybe a week ago. But
yeah, I didn't have a clue either, but that's exciting.
Who would you sign on to play Sully?
Victor Sullivan.
I was thinking, just off the top of my head, George Clooney.
He'd be a pretty good choice
in the role.
He'd be a pretty good choice for sure.
And obviously, to play Sam, if Sam is going to be in the movie, Luke Perry.
Yeah, Luke Perry, identical, basically.
They look fucking spot on.
Yeah, for sure.
Elena, though, she's the one that I'm having trouble figuring out who I would cast in that role. I've been flip-flopping on a bunch of different actresses, and she's a strong character for sure. So you need a strong woman to play that role.
Yeah.
And on that note, folks, we hope you enjoyed this first episode of the Weekly Roundup. This is CB.
This is RS.
And
let us know in the comments what you would like to see on future episodes.
Yeah, and here's the question of the day. We spoke about our casting choices for the Uncharted movie. Who would you like to see casted in that movie? Leave a comment, like, and hit up a subscribe, and stay tuned. We got more episodes coming. If you want to follow us on Twitch, it's CBRS_entertainment, where we do a lot of live streaming of various games. We have a schedule. I will be posting the schedule to the Twitch profile, so that you guys can keep up to date on what's going on.
And for the most part, we try to let everyone know when we're going to be playing certain games.
Mm-hmm.
We have NHL and Borderlands tomorrow if you're interested in joining us.
Not exactly certain at what time we will be doing that, but we...
probably middle afternoon and a little bit later on in the day. We are, of course, in Canada, so depending on where you are, time differences, things like that.
Alright, once again, guys, leave a like, hit subscribe. There's vehicles driving around outside. And have a good day, folks.
Cheers.